There were moments where TNA Rebellion 2025 exceeded my expectations a little bit, but did it ultimately become a show worth talking about? Going into TNA Rebellion 2025, my expectations were pretty low. TNA would have flashes here and there, but usually there's that lingering fear that once they have some type of momentum going, most likely they won't hold up. Still though, part of me was hoping that this show might be different. There is at least 1 or 2 matches on the card that were very capable of delivering something great. I mean, there was enough variety to at least have some type of spark. And honestly, early on, it felt like maybe, just maybe, this will be one of those nights. The Ultimate X match for the TNA X Division title I thought was a pretty good opener, and for the most part, it was a lot of fun. There is a very nice energy to it, but that finish just didn't land. Now, on the flip side, it's understandable why they would do that, especially with having Moose retaining the belt, but it's just the execution of it, especially after all they've done in that short amount of time. For me as a viewer, I was just left blah. Why? Regardless though, I gave this a solid 3 stars. A pretty good start to the show. The TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Title 4-Way was up next, and while it was a fine enough match, it felt largely routine. Now there was some decent energy and decent moves, and the crowd was responsive in moments, but it never really found another gear. It pretty much coasted along at a 2.5 star range for me. Solid, but pretty forgettable. Then came the 6-man tag, Ace Austin and the Rascals versus the System. Now this match here just felt like a pure Impact TV match. It was fine, but nothing really memorable at all. Ultimately, this was another 2.5 star match. Another hint of hope, but another reminder that hope can be a fragile thing. By the time Steve Maclin defended the TNA International title against Eric Young, I was fully primed for a real upswing here. On paper, this could have been one of those sleeper matches, especially with how the storyline has been with these two. Maclin's aggressive style against Young's ring IQ sounded like a match that could wake up this show. Instead, it landed with a disappointing thud. The intensity was pretty subdued here. The sense of urgency, especially with the storyline that they was doing, I thought was missing. It was pretty much passable at another 2.5 stars, but that wasn't good enough for what this should have been. Another crumbling of momentum right when it needed to solidify it. But thankfully, Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali brought the show back to life for a little while. Their Falls Count Anywhere match delivered an adrenaline jolt that felt long overdue. Santana fought with a real chip on his shoulder, Ali bumped like a madman and sold like a man possessed, and there was a controlled type of overbookedness that gave this match some teeth. It wasn't perfect, but the overbooking of it I thought worked for what they was trying to do with how their feud has been. I pretty much thought this was a great match, and I give this 4 stars. Easily the match of the night for me. So at this point, it felt like Rebellion 2025 was going to right the ship. But then we get to the match that I was looking forward to the most. The TNA Knockouts World title match between Masha Slamovich and Tessa Blanchard was next. And on paper, this was another match that could have been one of the best women's matches of the year. Masha Slamovich, one of the best women's wrestlers out there. Tessa Blanchard, though controversial, she definitely has been showing lately that she is definitely one of the best as well. But this match never really got out of that first gear. It wasn't bad. I rated this 3.25 stars, but it just wasn't something I was expecting. I was expecting greatness. I was expecting excellence. I just got good. The energy never fully recovered after that. The TNA World Tag Team title match saw the Hardys defending against Nick and Ryan Nemeth. And pretty much overall, I thought this was better than what I expected here. For a while, it felt like this might be one of those charming late career Hardy performances, but ultimately it settled into just good and nothing more. I give this one 3.25 stars. A nice effort, but something that wasn't going to save this show. All that was left was the TNA World Title 3-Way with Joe Hendry defending against Frankie Kazarian and Ethan Page. And credit where it's due, this was also better than expected. I thought all three guys did a real good job using the pace well, incorporating each guy in well, and adapting to each other's styles to make the match feel compelling here. But, much like with a lot of this show, it was just good, not great, especially for a pay-per-view main event. By the time Joe Hendry's music played after retaining the TNA title, and the screen going black once the show ended, there was that lingering feeling I had that wasn't triumph or excitement. It was pretty much that weird, hollow sensation you get when you know something could have mattered more. When you know the pieces were there, but it never came together, you kind of just look at a show like this when it comes to TNA Rebellion 2025. The show pretty much fought harder than I thought it would. It did exceed my very low bar in several places, but it never made the leap from better than expected to memorable. Ultimately, I rate the show a 7.75 out of 10. Good show, respectable, flashes of life, but in the end, I can't recommend it. In the end, TNA Rebellion 2025 showed real flashes of something stronger, something worth carrying forward, but every time the sparks caught, their energy crumbled just as fast. What could have been a turning point night instead faded into something you barely feel by the time the credits roll. It was better than it had any right to be, but nowhere near good enough to really matter. If you felt Rebellion 2025 left you wondering what could have been, I'd love to hear your thoughts below.